Welcome to the land of the Moonstone. Here you can meet and enslave spirits of all kinds. Yes, this cup of coffee as well. Unleash some sick moves upon this world and just enjoy a cozy time. No, ever. Hey, I'm Linky. Come and join me in 100 Days of Moonstone Island. Let's get started. Today is my last day living with my parents, and my dad only just started teaching me the basics on how to live. Of all the years you could have taught me, you taught me on my last day. It's like teaching your kids how to do tax return on the deadline of tax season. I don't know if that makes sense, I'm not sure. I need to do them soon, and I have no idea what to do. Help me, I'm screwed. Anyways, after doing star farming, I got to pick my starting spirit. Do I go for this Giga Chat dinosaur or the other two? I don't know. I mean, is there any other choice aside from the dino? By the way, its name is Enkalo, and sadly, there's no way to rename my spirits. After picking my starter, we get to our first combat. During combat, you are dealt a hand every turn. Each card has their own cost of mana. And as you can see here, we have maximum of 3. Our goal is to bring down the enemy's HP to 0. However, each spirit has armor, and the value of the armor can mitigate damage. For example, if your card deals 5 damage but enemy have 1 armor, you will only deal 4. But by bringing down the armor to 0, a spirit will get stunned and they would take more damage. And with a rock throw straight to its dome, Gemland ceases to exist. After everything's taught, it's time to leave. At night, my impa saw me off and I flew off with a broom. In hindsight, a broom may not have been the best mode of aerial transportation, or any sort of transportation at all, as it immediately snapped and I crashed. Waking up, I found myself in an unfamiliar bedroom, and someone is in here. Her name is Asano, and turns out I crash landed to this island where she brought me to a vacant guest room for the night. Going downstairs, apparently she's a bar owner and asked me for 20 stones to repair her basement. Telling me to not ask what happened, I am curious, but terribly terrified at the same time. So I just accepted the request. Before I left though, I also met Gianna, saying I have a weird outfit, which honestly, I agree. It's like I'm perpetually in pajamas, but she's also incredibly rude, so I disagree with her statement at the same time and left. The contradicting nature of the human mind. Now, the first order of business is to find a place to settle in. I decided to be at the north part of the town, and as I was clearing the area, a hole popped up. This is an entrance to the mine, but it's right in the middle of the road, which it's a bit of an eyesore, not gonna lie. For efficiency's sake though, I placed my tent right here. I then proceed to go down to the mines, seeing there are several treasure chests located here as indicated on the top left corner. I explored the area while casually mining some copper and iron along the way. A bit later, I finally found a chest, but was defended by this little guy here. It's a pot with limbs. I tried to be sneaky and managed to open the chest, but got caught in the end. Honestly, I was trying to be nice and spare the spirit, but I'm sorry, little pot. Bashing a pond back to earth got me a level up. By leveling up, you gain stat points to use. Armor stat gives you damage mitigation. Speed decides who goes first and armor break efficiency. Vitality gives HP and power boosts damage. I put both points in armor since that scares me. You can also choose to add new cards to the spirit deck per level, but general rule of thumb, less cards are usually better. So I decided to take patience as it can help me set up future turns. Afterwards, I easily found a second chest, unlocking the sprinkler crafting recipe. Seeing I'm running low on energy though, I went back up to the surface to do some foraging. Spotting something was glowing, I used the scythe to cut down the grass, finding a moonstone, which is the rarest material in the game. However, I got too greedy as I made a detour to get a second moonstone. Okay, head back. Go. Surely we get there, right? No! Since I fainted, I woke up late at 9 AM, which is really healthy to me, considering this is when I go to sleep in real life. I was issued a quest by an Amazon drone to meet the locals. I guess the town just accepted me as a resident now, after crash landing. I mean, do I have to pay tax? Hopefully not. I first met Quill. He's cheerful, but kinda dumb. I mean, how can you mix up between an alchemist and a mechanic? Next, I met Zed, a professor. The moment I met him, he asked me to catch a level 5 spirit, which I accepted. There's also this spirit research. It's basically a record of what I've encountered throughout my journey, and by giving the information of the spirit, I can earn money with it as well. I then met Farah, the local blacksmith. She kinda flirty and gave me a quest to sell her some copper ore. Since I had some from my previous escapade in the mines, I immediately completed a quest, getting me a furnace and another quest for 3 iron ingots. While exploring the town, I discovered a strange arc. Activating it gives me 3 choices of talisman: a card removal, card upgrade, or new card. Following my own rule, I took cleansing talisman. Next, I met Ophelia, and beside her, Gianna again. They sell plant stuff, and I tried talking to Guyana just to fail 70% chances to improve our relationship. Great. I don't want to be friends with you anyway, okay? Next to the sister is Paolo, the carpenter. He seems pretty down to earth. I like this dude. I then met Tobin, the fisherman, issuing me a request to catch some mythical fishes. So in order to complete this request, I also bought a fishing rod from him. While walking through the beach, I see another moonstone just laying on the sands. Game developers! Are you sure these moonstones are rare? I already found 3 of them. I also found this treasure map. Just who on earth is leaving these valuables on the floor? Checking the list of villagers I've yet to meet, there's only one left, called Cleo. And as I was having nice talks with our local Flora, I finally met her. She's a scholar, and with that, the quest is done. With no reward, but that's okay, as the reward is getting to meet all of these wonderful people. Nah, I can't do this, give me money instead. Afterwards, I spent the rest of my days clearing out the mines, built 4 furnaces, and smelted some ingots. On day 4, I made the selling crates and sold a bunch of stones, completing Asana's request. Checking the quest, I see one asking me to make a balloon to fly to another island. It's by my parents. As if a broom is not dangerous enough. Now we're using a balloon. It's not like the movie Up, where there's like a billion of balloons holding me up. It's just one, singular, okay? I'm starting to think those aren't tears of sadness when they saw me off. Then I went to this orange arc thing on the map. Turns out it's the entrance to a dungeon. In the middle sits a giant golem, but you don't get to fight it. Is this a scare tactic? 'Cause I'm not afraid. Meanwhile, me pulls up balloon, slowly floats away. There are basic obstacles like the pea shooter trap, and of course I am a god gamer and didn't get hit. Just pretend you saw nothing, okay? Then I got my first chest of the dungeon and teleported out. The next obstacle is these teleportation loop warp things that you see in a lot of games. And to my surprise, I did it in one go. Am I just Indiana Jones? Am I just a god gamer? What? Then I finally encountered something cute in the game, this fluff fox. So I decided to feed him and tame it. You know what they say, the best way to get to someone's heart is food. Next is this tumbleweed. Okay, what is up with creature collection games and tumbleweeds? We first have Bramblin and now this. It's not even a good base reference design, it's just a ball, okay? What are they gonna do next? A pile of garbage or some shit? Anyways, it tumbled back to heaven. Then I encountered this mysterious pond. Entering it provides me with stamina recovery. And in the next room is the golem. I went back and forth repeatedly as I wasn't sure if I'm ready enough to fight it. But I decided, you know what? I can do this. It was quite a tough battle. It has a base 90 HP and then regenerative armor. But fret not, I have a strategy, so each creature has its own unique passive. For Enkylo, you gain rage every 3 turns, which allows you to deal double damage, but also take double damage at the same time. So right before the turn of Enkylo going sicko mode, I break the Guardian's armor and wailed on it. After getting it down to 21 HP, I slowly whittled it down. I knew it was a scare tactic. This Guardian, useless. After getting the grand treasure of the dungeon giving me a spirit orb, the next room has a giant tree with talismans hanging about. It's called an Endo tree, and activating it granted me bonus maximum mana. Getting back home, I made some farm plots, and let me tell you, it will probably stay the size for most of the season. And with my ingots from the furnaces, I upgraded my hammer into a reinforced one so I can mine ores faster. Late at night, I also started to smelt my first moonstone bar and went to sleep. On day 5 morning, I used the moonstone bar to make a moonstone enchanter and proceed to craft a broom. Hopefully, it won't snap on me this time. I also sold 3 iron ingots to Farah, completing her quest and granting me the anvil recipe. Thus, I flew off with the broom and explored the different islands this game has to offer. The first one I encountered is a crescent-shaped tropical island. That's the nice ways to put it, but it's just a banana. Then I meet the first spirit of the island, Bibu? Babu? A beach ball. I guess a spirit literally can't be anything, huh? Remember Zed's request of capturing a level 5 spirit, I fed it seeds and made it an ally. After exploring a bit more, I got another cleansing talisman and see this mysterious pillar. Activating it teleported me to another island, but it's way out of my league as set from here. Suddenly, a -10 popped up on top of my head and realized these clouds are poisonous. So, like any sane alchemist on a poison island, I went to take a quick dip in the hot springs, and then I went back to the banana island. Seeing there's not much to explore anymore, I flew to the north and encountered an ancient ruin. Hieroglyphs and engravings of ice etched on the stones. And at the very top is a giant tree and a pedestal. As I touched the pedestal, a purple dude popped up called Magic Man, telling me this is the Spring Temple and I need to make offerings to open the gates. Okay, first, thanks, but who asked? They then proceeded to ask me to rob the earth seal from the temple. Good thing is, I already have the required offerings, the cat's tail and stone fruit. Thus, the gates are opened. Entering the temple, I see these long log boys. It's level 5, so it was pretty easy. Defeating it got me the alchemist's wand. Then I made another offering, which requires copper and iron ingots. Luckily, I was prepared. I proceeded to use the wand to grow vines and climbed up the next leaf. Next, we fight an even longer log boy. As you can see, it's an elite, as it has a skull beside its HP. However, in the end, it's just a very long piece of wood, so it got chopped down. Sadly, the journey ends here as I require moonstone and clay to proceed further, which I lack. At night, while searching for moonstones on Banana Island, Howl's moving castle rocked up, and turns out Magic Man lives in there. Sadly, their memories are missing, which requires memory shards to recover them. Thus, I made my goal of the end of these 100 days to recover all of their memories. Also, they saw talismans and spirit cards, super useful. After a productive day, I went home and rest. Turns out there are innate character levels as well. I got a level up in combat and foraging and took Link to the Grass, a Zelda reference, I see you. And as for combat, I took Beginner Cartomancer for higher chance of quality cards. On day 6, it's a Saturday, a weekend. I took it a bit more chill compared to the first 5 days and visited another tropical island, hoping for a vacation, but it's anything but that. As all the spirits here are the same level as mine and takes me tremendous efforts to win. So after getting the cleansing talisman, I dipped to do some fishing. Yeah, this is nice. This variation of fishing minigame is pretty interesting. You must keep the fish inside a circle long enough to catch the fish. I'll be honest, if I wasn't doing 100 days, I would probably spend a good 20 to 30 days here fishing. I also got a level up, where I went for Spirit Farmer for increased chance in dropping resource and eggs since we are going for the long haul. In the morning of day 7, Zed sends me a mail thanking me on finishing his request, giving me the Spirit Bond recipe, allowing me to capture more spirits and gain resources out of them. Turns out, to make a spirit barn, you need a lot of wood and a moonstone ingot. So while waiting for the moonstone bar to be made, I went to destroy some natural habitats so that the spirits can instead live in an artificial one. I sense zero irony here. Then I traveled to a new island, and seeing there's no warning that the enemies are way higher level than me, I attempted to battle them. Everything was going good at first. I mean like the first turn, but then my starter died, my Flugfox died. The poison was proven to be quite lethal, and at last it's my stupid beach ball left against the poison golem. I wonder who would win. Of course, it's me. Skill issue. However, this encounter scared me, so I immediately pulled out my flute and do the F out of there. Getting back from a life-threatening situation, I see that my moonstone bar is still not done. I went to explore another island, and this one looked quite familiar. As it turns out, this is the location of a treasure map. I quickly landed and started digging. While searching, a Flugfox sneaked up, and without anywhere to run, I was forced to fight it. However, turns out I forgot to heal my spirit and proceed to get railed, so I fainted and the day passed. I did not know everything is 1 HP. That's not good. But I shall never give up. After waking up from Waldo's place, I went out and continued digging. Riches are waiting for me after all. The One Piece is real. And finally, I got the chest. My exploration spirit is calling for me. Me completely forgetting about the spirit farm, I went to another island. This one is quite small, but it's okay. It's all about how you use it. They have a dungeon, and seeing that the enemy spawned is only level 2, I felt confident and entered. This dungeon is pretty easy, as I can literally just fly over everything, get the treasure, and fly out. However, we still must face a dungeon guardian, which proves to be a bit more difficult compared to the previous one since it has lackeys this time. So one by one I defeated his henchmen. Babu fainted in the process, but who really cares? Similar to the first time with Rage, my Encalo does a tons of damage and the Guardian faded, getting me a memory shard. So now I'm sure that the memory shards are a Guardian drop. With the Moonstone bar done, I crafted the Spirit Bond. Inside is built like a sweatshop. Perfect. I also leveled Intermediate Cartomancer for even better cards. I continue my treasure hunts on day 9. From the treasure map, it says a chest is located on the Shield Island. With the broom, I started flying. I discovered an island which looked like a witch's hat or a sailboat, no idea. And right next to it is the Shield Island. After digging up the chest, I also found another treasure map asking me to go back to the land of the bananas. But before that, I went down and saw another tropical island. This land is separated by water, and since I haven't learned to swim yet, thanks to my parents, I started building bridges to cross the giant body of water, which is pretty resource intensive. But at least it got me another moonstone, and with that banana island treasure, I got a total of 3 moonstones on day 9. Remembering that I need to get clay for the spring temple, on day 10 I flew to an island, caught a dusty, sent it to the barn and forced it to make clay for me. Of course they are paid with food, okay? I am not an animal. But honestly, as I was figuring out how to feed the spirit, I felt quite dumb. I kept on asking it to follow me because I thought it's blocking the feed stall. I went in and out of the barn as I thought I encountered a bug, but turns out you just need to have the plants and click on the feeding stall. I used my brain, trust me. Afterwards, I caught Float, a water spirit, and sent it to the sweatshop as well. At night, I got a level up in foraging, getting the Moonstone Miner tray for a higher chance of moonstones. On day 11, I got clay. I shall not question how Dusty made it. So as you may have guessed, I immediately flew to the Spring Temple, inserting the clay and moonstone and went up and met the boss of the Spring Temple.
Wait a minute!
Once Wispy Wood from Kirby here, but contrary to the Kirby boss, Wildwood is nothing to be scoffed at, as it immediately KO'd my Babu. Moreover, the long boys beside it prevented from taking damage until they are knocked out. I'll just say, day 11 didn't last long. Huh. Yeah, that went well. Realizing I'm severely underleveled, on day 12 I spent my whole day farming spirit corpses. However, only in the evening I realized both Fluffpup and Babu's passive sucks. They aren't combat oriented at all, so I swapped to Dusty, who gained mana if its attack are completely blocked. So I thought it can be used as a mana generator, where multi-hit attack could generate multiple mana and have it as a utility and armor breaker. I also swapped in Float, which regens up to half of its HP at the start of the combat, saving me a lot of consumables. So I used some cleansing talisman to clear out Dusty's deck, thinking it would be a staple mana generator for my team. This was proven to be not the best choice of action, but I will discover this a few days later. Just let me be happy with thinking that I have a genius idea for now. I guess that's why they say ignorance is bliss. So I did a bit of soul searching and came to an epiphany that the talisman giving arcs actually resets per season, which is in 16 days. Realizing there's a lot to do, I immediately start to speed up my island hopping, hoping to get more talismans before the season ends. However, I encountered a problem. The broom sucks. Like, it's bad. Like, first, you need to spend time charging up the broom, which wastes stamina and time. It has a limited amount of fuel, and it has a deceptively large amount of fuel as the speed tapers off the longer you're airborne. So I'm just moving in turtle speed at the end. Thus, I need to upgrade my mode of transportation, which is the glider. However, it needs 3 moonstone bars. That's 9 moonstones in total. But lucky for me, or maybe I'm just that prepared, I have just enough in my inventory. The Amazon drone flew in during the morning giving me a ladder. It's from Paolo. Paolo asked me to capture a spirit with the word oak in it. I have a suspicion on what it is. Probably it's the one that triple killed my team on day 7, but this has to wait as I got my glider. So on day 14, I spent my time exploring different islands. More Thunder Islands, Fire Islands, and I encountered this. What the fuck is that? I feel like I shouldn't be here. Let's leave. I'm scared, mommy. It's as if staying on the island gives me an insanity drain, taking away 5 stamina every second I'm on it. At night, while on a poison island trying to get the talisman, a purple swirl appeared on top of the island and star fragments started to rain down. Having no idea what it was, I got scared and thought that I would faint again for some reason, so I just went home. I continued my exploration on day 15, returning to the poison island to see if anything changed, but no, it's still the same, and reached the talisman after avoiding deadly spirits. Also remember the regrets about Dusty. Well, I realized that its passive can only generate 1 mana even if it's a multi-hit, so it can only ever be net neutral at best. But hey, at least I got Earthquake, which only deals 1 damage and removes 2 armor. Surely it refunds the mana, right? On the next day, I decided to explore the northeast of the map, discovering a relatively low-level island. I quickly cleared the dungeon, but during that, I discovered that Earthquake... Okay, I got the Earthquake. Wait. Did that not refund my mana? Doesn't even regenerate mana for Dusty. Probably the game coded armor reduction counting as damage as well. So to me, Dusty is basically useless and continue exploring. I then got to this mushroom island. I assume it's like the spring temple, but This looks much deadlier than some wood. While having a look around, I see Moonstone. Or the Moonstone. Oh, I don't even need to land. I guess I'm never getting this Moonstone. Ah, can I get the Moonstone from here? I guess I'm never getting this Moonstone. Yeah, so that happened. I also unlocked Peaceful Presence so I can escape easier, not that I need it, and Weak Link so I can clear dungeons even faster. On the next day, I kept on exploring the islands, picking up a few more treasure maps along the way, so in the future, when there's a bit more free time, perhaps I can have a few days of only treasure hunting. That sounds pretty interesting, right? Hopefully? Fingers crossed? And on day 18, I wanted to stock up a bit on ores, so I went to the mines and did some good old-fashioned mining. On day 19 though, I realized something. The Spring Temple. It's called Spring Temple for a reason, right? Is it only accessible during springtime? I can't find any information about it on the internet, but I do not want to risk it. So I need to formulate a plan to conquer the temple quickly. So what I've conjured up is Project Pollution. Every single earth type is weak to poison type, and since the Spring Temple boss is also earth type, by having a poison type in our team, we should be able to kill it easily. Yeah, people call me the Sun Tzu of the 21st century. Don't need to be too amazed. However, there's a problem. All poison types are over level 5, which I can't catch yet. So I need to level up the spirit type up fast. Thus, I went to a low level island and kept capturing and releasing spirits. I probably gave some of them an eternal haste for the humankind, but you know what? It's for the greater cause. The right cause. And at night, luckily I leveled up, thus I can now catch spirits up to level 10. On day 20, I started my journey to find the best poison type for my team. First, I caught an emo shroom, which has the ability of shroom shrink, nullifying poison if it's below 3 or less, which is only applicable if the enemies are poison type as well. Thus, it doesn't really help with fighting tree, so I released it and hoped to get a better spirit. Then, I saw the spirit of my dreams. Marsha. It applies 1 additional poison every time it applies poison. However, I got curb stomped by the frogs and fainted. After my nausea clears, it's already day 21, and I swear, these AI drones are getting too good. Tobin was able to track me down and has the audacity to ask me to get him a snorkel while I fainted. However, it's not like I can say no to it. But Marsha comes first. With the sacrifice of Enkylo, I caught Marsha. Without even leveling, I immediately brought my team to fight Wildwood. That's how confident I am. It was going pretty well at first. I was slowly poisoning the earth to death. However, Wildwood suddenly pulled a Brawl Plus, almost immediately killing both my Enkylo and Marsha. Soon, Enkylo falls. Luckily, my poison persists and goes through the longbow immunity. And with only 27 and 11 HP left for my spirits, Wildwood dies to pollution, and humankind triumphs over nature once again, earning me the Earth Seal. At night, I got Fleet Food, which guarantees my escape from combat as long as I don't die before I can move. With the main story done for the season, I decided to help out my neighbors a bit and start doing their companion quest. First, I went for Tobin, who wants a snorkel in the water islands. However, Octopus. No, none of them are. I can't seem to find it at all. So I switched it up to find Ogun for Paolo first, which I immediately encountered and captured. I proceed to use my whole day to find Snorkel, and as I was prepared to give up for the day, Snorkel! I finally found it and captured it for my friend. Robbing animals of their freedom is actually too fine. After turning in the respective spirits for Paolo and Tobin, I proceed to my next quest, which is to collect every spring seeds for elemental islands. And if you may notice, it's spring seeds. The crop will be gone the moment it turns to the next season, so I quickly went to collect most of the seeds. However, I couldn't collect Stark and Fire Island ones as my scythe wasn't strong enough, while the Psychic ones only appeared during the Psychic Storm. On day 24, I didn't pull back any punches. Even though it hurts me greatly to do this, I fully upgraded my scythe to the Moonstone version. That's 3 Moonstone ingots, and I proceed to collect the Fire and Dark Island seeds. Now, it's just a waiting game for encountering a Psychic Storm at night. However, I start to panic. What if I can't find the Psychic Storm in the next few days. I would then need to wait a whole year to complete the quest. So I started exploring even though it's the dead of the night, uncovering the Summer Temple in the process. I also got the Endo Acolyte upgrade from the Archaeology tab, which grants me extra stamina after activating more Endo trees. I spent my whole day 25 exploring islands, hoping to find an island with the Psychic Storm, and thank God I encountered it. After harvesting the magic mushroom and the yarrow, I finally finished all the seeds collection. Then I took out the selling crate to sell the seeds. However, I do not know if I need to sell it directly to the sisters or through the selling crate. So I only sold one of each seed, and thank God I did that, because the quest did not update after I finished them. So on day 26 in the morning, I waited. I stood inside their store and waited for them to open. I proceed to sell all the seeds, completing quests, which also granted me 5,000 gold. Also, after the past few days of combat, I realized Enkylo kinda sucks. He just dies too easily, so I replaced it with a frog, with a passive that transforms existing poison to other enemies when they die. So it's like a pseudo AoE kind of thing. So now I have 2 poison appliers and float, which has healing, so I can slowly poison my opponents to death. On day 27, I conquered another dungeon, getting me another memory shot with a total of 5 now, and I proceed to give it to Waldo. At night, I unlocked 1 step ahead so I can draw more cards during combat and Spirit Bond for even more resources. In the morning, Waldo sends me a letter asking for Fishbowl for the Fishbowl Jr., which I accepted because Fishbowls are sociable creatures. However, I want to do some farming and this poison team proves to be quite powerful, as now I can confidently bring them into the Lightning Islands to farm levels there smoothly. At night, I encountered another Psychic Storm. While I wanted to capture a Psychic Spirit, since my Spirit Barn has no vacant space, I can only cry. And now it's summertime, and since it's a new season, it's time to drumroll, go get the cleansing talisman! Yay! Just letting you guys know this will happen in the next 2 seasons as well. But you know what's more exciting than talismans? New seasonal crops. And lo and behold, this, the hot air fruit. And the amazing effect of XP plus 50. I'll be honest, while the spirit battles are fun, it takes quite a while to win, and there's a risk of fainting if I challenge higher level islands. So I shall go for the safe route, and I'm pivoting to farming. So while aiming for talismans, I also route myself to go to the fire islands to harvest these hot air fruit seeds. Then I would get home, expand the farm, and sow the seeds of growth. At night now, I spiced it up a bit. So remember the psychic storms that you can get? Well, they appear at around 8 PM on a random island every day. And realistically, I can only get them on these islands since my team is quite weak. I thought it would take me quite a few days to find it, but the moment I flew out, as it hits 8 PM, I see it, the starfall. Okay. Here? I was a bit picky at first. I saw the Mr. Slime, which generates mana if I play 5 skill cards in one turn. In hindsight, this passive is super good and probably the best one I can get. However, I didn't know back then, and I only have 1 extra spirit slot, so I must choose carefully. But while searching, the psychic spirits just refuse to show up. No, you're Marsha. I don't care. Maybe I should've. You know what? Maybe I should've just captured it. And time is ticking. What if they don't spawn again? No. I need my psychic type, please. Give me a psychic type, please. Why is there no psychic type? Where is there no psychic type? I want to cry. I want to cry. I'm sorry for killing you, slime. Please spawn for me because okay, yeah. Taro, oh, look at you. Let me see. What are you guys? Let me see. While following his spirits of 550, whenever an enemy is managed, draw 1 card and gain 1 energy. Okay, I'm getting look at you. As if the psychic type god listened to my anthem of my apology, they gave me look at you. How? So cute. On day 4 of summer, the summer seed harvest quest showed up, and I realized after you turn in all the seeds actually will then be available to purchase. So since I'm doing a bit more farming this season, I immediately got onto the mission. Through day 32 and 33, I collected earthen leaf and umbrella shroom from the poison island, sunflower and saplings from the electric island, prickly plants and wing fruits from the dark island, eyeberry and tiny flower from the psychic storm, and flame roots and our favorite, hot air plants from the fire islands. And right before the plant conservatory closes, I managed to complete the quest. While I wanted to expand my farm, it's a Saturday, and sadly shops won't open aside from Zed's laboratory. So I went to turn in some spirit research, get some money, then I went to do some spirit killing, and you know what they say, hubris leads to downfall, cause I got thunderbolted to death. As I wake up, Guyana gave me her spirit request. A poison spirit similar to her hairstyle. What does that even mean? I then turned in and sold a random potion to my parents, completing a quest. I also finally gained a level in agriculture, taking propagator for more seeds. On day 36, from my parents' quest, I unlocked the alchemy table recipe, so maybe I can create concoctions of my own now. Next, I went to Rowan and bought a bunch of hot air fruit seeds and went on my way. Now, here's the problem. I want to expand my farm even further, but I lack metal to build more sprinklers, so I went to the mines. At night, I encountered another psychic storm. With my increase in knowledge, I captured a Mr. Slime to replace Look At You. I spent so many talismans on Look At You, and now look at me, a fool, wasting so much precious resources. But it's okay, at least it's still early enough. The next day, I was super excited to expand my farm and bought more hot air seeds, but you, with a keen eye, may have spotted something. I bought the wrong seeds, and I was blissfully unaware. Next, I started to hatch eggs as well, mainly because of quests from Zed, and as I was building the nest, I realized. Wait, I didn't buy the wrong seed, right? I bought the wrong seed! So, I went back to Rowan's shop. This is what I want. I can tell you, past Linky, this is not what I want. I swear I'm not doing this on purpose, okay? With the not so correct seed spots, and with the iron and copper I got from the mines, I expanded my farm a bit. Now a grand total of 160 farm plots. It's not much, but it's honest work. And as I was preparing to plant the seeds... Why did I buy Zeppelin seeds? No, okay. It's actually bugged. Because I'm 100% sure I didn't buy these. I'm 100% sure I bought the fire balloon seeds. It's bugged. It's not. It's not bugged. I'm writing a script and I'm just laughing at myself. Anyways, third time's the charm, and I actually bought the correct one this time. 10k coins gone, just like that. So I went to the richest person this time, Zed, and recoup a bit. The past few days, I really haven't been doing much. Like, it's mostly hard labor, and I feel like my combat prowess is getting a bit rusty. So I went to do a dungeon. To get back to the groove, I chose an easier one, and maybe it was a bit too easy. How dare the dungeon think that just by using fans, they can block me from getting chests. And this also made me realize, maybe I've been slacking in clearing dungeons because the Guardian is level 11, I'm way higher level. So the Guardian just kinda... I went on another dungeon the next day. It's quite a big one with 7 chests, but honestly, the dungeons are mostly the same. Hopefully the higher difficulty ones switch up a bit. I mean, even the Guardians are identical aside from the elements, which is quite disappointing. At least I leveled my agriculture, taking Lucky Landscaper. Crops having 50% to drop seed when harvested, so now I don't have to spend too much money on seeds. On day 40, I think it's time. It's time to exercise my Riz a bit, and of all the characters I talked to, I think I like Farah the most. Thus, I requested a date with her at 7 since she likes drinking a lot. During tomorrow 8 PM. Surely, I won't forget. Mom also sends me a letter asking me to brew them a potion, so yeah. Since I kind of stomped the past 2 dungeons, I felt confident and went to challenge the Summer Temple. Maybe the confidence was a bit inflated as the moment I entered the temple, my only damage dealer got focus fired, stunned, and killed. So I kind of just ran away. However, it was just a fluke. Trust, it was just a fluke from the enemies, so I challenged them once again. I kind of want to use this chance to showcase what the deck actually do. My Ribat didn't die the first round, that's already very good. Basically, our main damage source is Reckless Gas. It deals X amounts of poison 4 times to a random enemy. We then use Sacrifice, which can exhaust 2 cards to bring 1 card back from the discard pile, so we gas them again. You also see the card beside it called Accelerant, which triples the poison, so it's just killing them slowly. And here you can see that my damage dealer is basically dead, but that's fine because the poison is already applied, and now I can keep cycling my deck with mana and card draw provided by Mr. Slime, drawing the armor bricks to stall, and slowly they die. I then unlock the flippers. Yes, the swimming ones, so now I magically learned how to swim, I guess. Next, I need lantern and jewelfish to proceed. After getting them from my chest, I challenge the temple again. I swam up the waterfall using the flippers and challenged the elite version of Dropple. Honestly, this was a tough fight. My Mrs. Slime died really early, but with a blind blow, I got another reckless poison and eked out a victory. The next pedestal requires sea glass and moonstone. Luckily, I had them stocked up and almost to the boss. It's Titan, the overgrown slime. Here's a showcase of this team when you get perfect card draws. In turn 1, the poison immediately kills the 2 minions. The poison then bounces to the boss. At this point, I was wondering why all my cards have retained. Turns out that's the boss's passive. I failed to see how it's a negative effect for me, but oh wells. I ended turn twice and it got poisoned to death, getting me the water seal. Getting home, I tinkled a bit with Alchemy for my mouse mission. The potion requires an umbrella shroom and pinwheel, by the way, if anyone was curious. On Sunday morning, Zed sent in his request asking for robot spirits, and I think I know exactly what he wants. Checking the mailbox of other residents, I got the cauldron recipe from Mom. Then I saw something. I forgot. I forgot to meet Farrah on a date. No. Remember, don't be like me. Don't flake on dates. That is just plain rude. And then I went to Kade Emo Shroom displaying my current state of mind, and mostly that's what Guyana wants, I think. I will never know. At night, I unlocked the historic herbology for the EXP fertilizer, which requires a compost bin that I haven't unlocked yet. So that was a waste. And now I have Spiritmancer catching higher level spirits. And the next morning, I talked to Farrah, and she was not happy. But for some reason, I went from half a heart to a full heart. So our relationship actually improved. You know what? What do I know about dating? Always flake on your dates. That's how you get a significant off. I went to challenge a water dungeon on day 44. It's a gauntlet style dungeon and it was smooth sailing until this happened. And then we do this, and we do this, and then we do this. We peek. Huh? Okay, so I think I broke the game. I have no idea how I broke the game, but I think I broke the game. Well, I have to restart now. Boom. So after spending a bit of time grinding back to that moment, I fight the boss. And this fight got me so mad. Because, well, first, my ribeye died immediately. But more importantly, I cannot escape. Just look at me spam this. Because I'm in a guardian fight, so I can't escape. So I'm forced to fight this out. This whole battle lasted 11 minutes. I was tickling the guardian, and they are tickling me. 10 minutes into the fight, Floats died, which means I'm 0 damage dealer, so I just kept skipping turns until the Guardian finally killed me. Challenging the dungeon again, I learned this time. I am safe scumming. I do not care. I don't care if it's like, oh, it's not legit 100 days. I don't care. On the second attempt of the boss, as soon as my ribeye and Mrs. Slime fainted. No, fuck me. Anyways, what happened? What happened? Nothing happened, right? On the third attempt, finally, I drew the card I needed and killed it. While I'm not achievement hunting, there's this achievement that's clearing 3 dungeons in one day called Shawnee See, Shawnee Do. A reference to a YouTube video that first caught my attention to this game. So, to pay respect, I attempted this as well. In the second dungeon of the day, it's like a labyrinth. Paths fall as soon as I walk on them, and after a few detours, I killed the Guardian relatively quickly and have 9 hours left to complete the next one. Luckily, there's a similar level dungeon right at the corner, however, this one proves to be a bit scary. It's not because of the dock, but the rocks. Rocks are kinda big. Rocks are kinda hard. Rocks are kinda time consuming to mine, and rocks are kinda in abundance. Luckily, I was able to get the boss in time at 10:30. Thank God this boss is a fire type, which means my spirits are not weak to it. Thus, I quickly destroyed the boss, granting me the achievement. On day 46, I went to capture the arm bots for Zed, and honestly, I wonder how did they even evolve into this form? It's a robot. It's from organic matter into inorganic matter. How does that work? And I proceed to give it to Zed. Since I have a bit of downtime between summer to fall, I decided to decorate and upgrade my house a bit, aiming for the north and east wing expansion. However, that requires quite a bit of natural resources, so I went to contribute to global warming and upgraded my house. However, it takes a day to upgrade, so next I start replacing my spirit stalls with moongrass stalls that I unlocked completing the egg hatching quest, because I'm way too lazy to feed my spirits. With that, all my moonstones are gone. As I wake up, my house magically got renovated, so my plan is for the north wing to be my bedroom for now and the west wing to be the storage room, so I spent my whole day doing inventory management. While it is color-coded in a way, I still will not remember it in the future, but yeah. My inventory is finally kind of sorted out. I also think I can afford to care more about aesthetics, so I made another tent and moved my housing a bit further north. I also picked up my previous tent and thought up of a plan. I'm not sure if this works or not, but I want to have a tent in each of the elemental region and have them relatively close to the edge of the map. I call it Project Colonization. Why am I doing this? I don't know, it just feels cool, you know? But it's still a proof of concept, so yeah. And my theory is proven correct. This is actually super cool to me. I think it's the first farming sim that I played which has this function. While the world is not that big, it's just cool. All the tents share the same space, so now I need to move my outer setup into the house as well. That means more expansion, which means more money go poof. With the east wing and basement expanded, I made the basement into the furnace area. Insane airflow for the furnaces to work. Totally will not get carbon monoxide poisoning. Also, now I'm having second thoughts on my crafting X storage space. I want my working space and storage to be near each other, so I spent the whole day moving my stuff to the other side. To support this project colonization though, a large amount of moonstones are required, since I will need to have a spirit barn to accompany my other houses. So finally, it's time to pull out the treasure maps. Me being a super disorganized person, I didn't plan out the routes, so I just kinda ran around like a headless chicken. So in the next 3 days, I went from here to here to here to here to here to here, and summer is over. So the same old for the first week of autumn, I went to collect talismans and seeds from the islands. And this time, the crop that really caught my eye is this one, the will-o-wisp, which is only available during psychic storms, giving you 250 XP per plant. And the best part is, it's reharvestable. Actually, all autumn plants are reharvestable. Basically, an infinite EXP printing machine until autumn ends. So immediately after turning in the fall season seeds to the sisters, I went home to expand my farmland in preparation for the will-o-wisp and proceeded to buy a bunch of them and went broke. Hey, at least it's a one-time purchase. And I got to planting the whole day. Talisman. Oh, deck cash. Talisman. Yay! After collecting all these talisman, our deck should be super good. So let's have a look, shall we? Into a dungeon we go. And let's jump straight to the boss. Let's look, right? Our team is below level 30, or like the highest level 30, while the Guardian is level 36. So they're significantly higher level than us. But shall we fear? No! Floats, use life pool! The Guardian took a lot of damage, now at half health. Quick, Rip Bite, use accelerant on Comp, Ulo. It's super effective. Now active my trap card, bouncing poison or something. With that, the Guardian is dead. On day 64, I asked Farah out on a date to the tavern. Again, there's not much entertainment in this town, huh? I then proceed to challenge its vault temple. After inserting the offerings, I enter. Oh, what are those? Oh. Is that a gun? Wanting to unlock the Glock, I quickly entered the battle. The temple exclusive spirit is the Snap Plant, which applies 1 poison each turn when they're full health. Translation? It's an unbelievably bad passive. Pretty sure it got too embarrassed of its own passive that it wilted. This unlocked me the boomerang, which does this. Okay, I mean, does it not look like a gun though? Okay, you already know the drill. We fight the elite version of this, and since I'm a god gamer, it gets clapped. And onwards to the boss. Hi, Linky here. Sorry for the inconvenience. Due to technical difficulties, the footage of the battle has been lost. I can only do a recreation of it. Thanks for tuning in.
Draw your last pathetic card so I can end this.
Linky.
My
Poison.
deck has no pathetic cards,
Snapdragon.
but it does contain the unstoppable Exodia. Impossible! I've assembled all 5 special cards, all 5 pieces of the puzzle.
It died. It died, yeah. To celebrate this triumph, and mostly to not forget the days with Farah, I waited the whole day in the tavern. This is called dedication. As for the date, I guess it went well. It went okay, I guess. We talked about arm wrestling. Yeah, more of a competitive slapping person myself, but fun topic. On day 66, I want to proceed with the Spirit Companion quest, so I caught a Shmeep and sent it to our favorite himbo, Quill. While at night, I found a Psychic Storm and caught a Beardini for Farah, and proceed to give it to her in the next morning, and in exchange, I got the Improved Furnace, which, I'll be honest, I did not really use it for the rest of my playthrough. I also decided that I don't want to play with floats anymore. Kinda got bored of it, you know? We just moved on, okay? So I caught a Dropple, which is also a water elemental and functions basically the same. So wait, why did I drop float again? I don't know. However, the Dropple is only level 9. We can't have a weakling in our team. They need to be strong and powerful. So I just casually force-fed it 100 of the Will-O-Wisps. Surprisingly, it didn't gain any weight, but gained 21 levels instead. There's like 0 fructose in this crop, huh? Making him on par with the team. On day 69, nice. I just have to say this every time. I'm contractually obliged. I went on a bit of a dungeon hunting. Well, at first I was aiming to do a couple dungeons today, but yeah. Look at these. 20 energy, by the way. Well, it's not that you will see it, but you know. Oh, we don't have poison. We don't have poison. We don't have damage. We don't have damage. Abort, abort, abort. Oh no, abort! So I quickly flew back and grabbed my ribeye, finished the dungeon, and now we got 14 out of 30 dungeons. We are almost halfway in recovering Waldo's memories. In the morning, I received a Spirit Companion request from Cleo, and she wants a goddamn Dark Spirit as her companion. Do you know how high level they are, Cleo? I can't capture them until God knows how long. But this got me intrigued. Can I beat them myself now? So I went to check it out. The moment I landed, I was greeted by this dark coffee, and the other two. How are you so special and precious? But why are you a dark spirit? Then I realized it's long black. Ew, disgusting. Sorry, I only drink flat whites or latte, so I poisoned it. At least now I know my team is pretty overpowered, which is always a plus. Continuing my risk journey, I asked Farah out on another date, and this time to the hot springs. The tavern getting kinda old, not gonna lie, and the percentage is finally high enough to justify it. Next order of business, charms. I want to make charms to stop the elemental stamina damage, as I want to do some fishing in other islands. So I captured a Shmeep and Sanji for the poops. Since there's a dungeon right beside, I went to conquer it. As the boss dies, this popped up, which never happened before. Using my 500 IQ brain, I deduced that the mirror only has 15 shards. For some reason, I always thought there's 30. But you know what? This makes my life easier. And you already know it's date's day, so I sat in the hot springs for the whole day, waiting. Pretty sure my skin is wrinkled like a 90-year-old elderly, but it will be worth it in the end. Yo, Paolo? We're just friends. My heart already belongs to Farah. Speaking of Farah, here she is. The day was going smoothly until a bug popped up and third wheel our whole date. In the morning, I turned in more poops for my friend Zed. You're putting them on the display, huh? An interesting choice. I'm not judging, okay? Then I crafted my fire charm for the protection and met up with Magic Man. With all 15k assembled, I mean memory shots collected, the mirror is whole again and a portal has been formed. Floating into the mirror, I guess, transports me to the... Where am I gonna go? The Dark Lens. Well, I'm not really that surprised. Maybe because I already discovered the island, but it's quite disappointing. And on day 74, and until the end of autumn actually, I spent all the time doing 3 things. Fishing, dating, and plucking up plants, as I want to finish the fishing quest from Tobin, which requires 3 different Moonstone quality fish from Poison, Electric, and Fire Islands. So during this period, I got to max out with Farah, have an ungodly amount of Will-O-Wisps, and now let me tell you about fishing. While I'll let the montage of me fishing on the background run for a bit, let me tell you something, okay? Don't be like me. See, I have a bad habit of turning in everything at once, like how I did it for the mirror. The completion from 0 to 100% is just exhilarating to me. But for this specific Tobin quest, please turn in the fishes one by one. Here's a spoiler. If you're in day 74, you basically saw most of the game already. But Tobin provides you with fishing rod upgrades every time you turn in a fish. I'm not sure how the upgrades affect fishing since I completed the whole quest with the basic fishing rod, but it would have probably hastened the pace by quite a lot. But you know what? It's okay, Copium, because I didn't realize this. The water is all frozen during the winter, and probably if I spend the time upgrading the rod, I may not have enough time to finish the quest. You will never know. Also, I realized my team is already powerful enough, so for the first time, I decided to not purposefully collect the talismans anymore, and focus on the winter seeds and the rare ice spirits which only appear in the winter. And by the end of the day, I got every single seed aside from the Saki Storm ones. While waiting for Saki Storm to happen, I went to challenge the final temple, the Thunder Temple. Ooh, the Winter Temple, okay. Ooh, very thunder, very fancy. Elevated platforms? What is that? Is that a rune? I will be straight with you all. I have zero idea on what the spirits do at this point. I just click buttons and they die. After the battle, I unlocked the teleporter, which, well, teleports me. Finally, I do not fear elevated lands anymore. While I wanted to finish the temple today, I lacked cinderfish, so instead I went to find the Psychic Storm for the last 2 seeds. I got the gift box seed relatively quickly, but as for the last one... Oh, it's here! Snowdrop! Nice! So I'm just gonna die, but that's okay. I got it. Wait, no! Did I get a snowdrop seed? No! I didn't get a snowdrop seed! No, I was too, yeah. Next day, I quickly got my cinderfish and went to challenge the boss at the Thunder Temple. This boss, Sparking, honestly very creative. It increases a random card mana cost by 1 every 30 seconds, which basically forces me to play fast. Luckily, my deck does not require intelligence. 0 brain cells required. So I just kept on clicking cards, shoving poison down its throat, and it exploded. After obtaining the last seal, Magic Ma'am suddenly popped up, telling me there's not enough time, and the void portal needs to be sealed immediately. Okay, but here's the thing, you see? Too much excitement in one day overloads my old man brain, and mostly it's just bad pacing for the video. So instead, I went to another Psychic Storm to collect the last seed, and turned it in the next day. I also submitted the last 2 poops, a snowball and dark matter to Zed, completing the spirit poop quest as well. Then I flew to the Dark Islands. By inserting each seal from the temples, the rift slowly closes until a hand suddenly popped up. And with that, we fight the final boss. Missing no. What's up with hands as final bosses? I don't get it. The first thing it did was reducing all my spirits to 1 HP. Very rude. It also has 1000 HP. Quite a beefy hand indeed. However, I realized something. One crucial thing, it's alone, which means Bane is finally useful, since it gives me extra mana if there's only 1 enemy spirit. This means I can go infinite. So I wanted to test out how much damage I can deal in 1 turn. However, after like 10 minutes of clicking, I kinda got bored, so I just ended my turn, dealing a whopping 130,000 damage. With that, I saved the world. Since I defeated the main objective of the game, I'm quite lost on what to do, as I'm an objective-based person. Seeking meaning of life, I see that I still have 7 spirits that I have yet to discover, so I set that as my next goal. Trying to get all spirits in the next 10 days. Most of them are quite easy to find. They are in the mines, Torble, mines, Bulbot, mines, Lucerna, mines. Pupox appears after defeating Mr. No, but then there's 2. Minute and Prickly. They are annoying because they're eggs exclusives. But here's the thing, we're quite bound by time, so I started farming eggs. I took 2 days off to catch a wolfbane for Cleo, which, not gonna lie, took way too long, okay? It just refuses to show up for some reason. And then I got to my breaking point. Dude, I spent the whole day fucking wasted so much time, man. I wasted so much time. I just need 1 wolf. 1! Anyways, I caught it in the end. Not worth it. Cleo, you better give me something insane to make my time spent worth it. Tapping shoes. You gave me tapping shoes. Huh. Okay. Anyways, I went back to farming eggs. Spirit has hatched. Please. Just 1 time. Give me the 2. Give me the 2 that I need. Just give me the 2 that I need. Please. Give me the 2 that I need. No. I guess. Too bad. However, on day 97, seeing the eggs that I hatched are not the last 2 spirits I needed, I got a bit dispirited, since even if I farm now, it's useless, as the eggs won't hatch fast enough. So, I want to at least complete one more major objective for the remaining days, and the realistic one is to finish all dungeons. Thus, I started dungeoneering like a madman. 4 on day 97. 3 dungeons on 98, mostly because I got stuck on this BS teleporting dungeon for the whole afternoon and evening. 5 more on day 99, and on day 100, I completed the last 3 dungeons, conquering all 30 dungeons available. And to celebrate, I went tap dancing in the tavern for the whole day until I dropped. And with that, that's the end of the video. Thank you everyone for watching. A tiny hint for the next video: Shadow Wizard Money Gang. Yeah.